In 1637, a single flower bulb sold for more than a house on the Amsterdam Canal. Not a garden. Not a field of flowers. 1. Tulip bulb. And 6 weeks later, it was worth almost nothing. What happened in the Netherlands nearly 400 years ago is the reason I can predict, with near certainty, what will happen in the next bubble. Because the pattern never changes. Only the asset does. Today, we're going back to the original mania, the one Benjamin Graham studied, the one Buffett refers to, the one every professional investor should understand. Because if you recognize the signs, you'll never be the one holding the bag. And the third sign we'll cover, you're probably seeing in the market right now. The Dutch in the early 1600s were the richest people on earth. They'd just built the world's first modern stock market, the Amsterdam Stock Exchange, founded in 1602. They had ships, spices, silver, and a rising middle class with money to spend. Then came the tulip. Tulips arrived from the Ottoman Empire. They were exotic, beautiful, and for the Dutch elite, a status symbol. A single rare bulb in your garden signaled wealth, taste, and sophistication. But here's what made tulips different. A virus, which nobody understood at the time, caused some bulbs to produce bizarre, streaked petals. Flames of color. Patterns no artist could predict. These broken tulips, like the famous Semper Augustus, became obsessions. By 1634, a Semper Augustus bulb was selling for 10,000 guilders. For context, a skilled Dutch craftsman earned about 300 guilders a year. That bulb was worth more than 30 years of labor. It was worth more than most Amsterdam townhouses. And that's when the trouble started. Something shifted around 1635. Tulip trading stopped being about flowers. It became about profit. The Dutch invented a contract they called windhandel, wind trade. Think of it as the world's first futures market. You didn't need the bulb. You didn't even need cash. You just signed a paper promising to buy a bulb in the spring, then sold that paper to someone else for more. And the people doing this? Not wealthy merchants. Blacksmiths. Weavers. Bakers. Farmers. People who'd never seen a bulb in their lives were mortgaging their businesses to trade paper claims on flowers. There's a famous story from this period. A sailor walks into a merchant's office, spots what he thinks is an onion on the counter, and eats it for lunch. That onion was a Semper Augustus bulb. The merchant had him thrown in prison. The bulb was worth more than the sailor's annual wages several times over. Now here's the pull forward. Most historians agree the speculation got truly insane in just the last 3 months. October, November, December of 1636. Prices for the rarest bulbs rose 20-fold in 90 days. Sound familiar? February 3, 1637. Haarlem. A routine tulip auction. Nobody bids. Not a single buyer shows up. Word spreads to Amsterdam, to Rotterdam, to Utrecht. Within days, the entire tulip market evaporates. Contracts signed at peak prices became worthless overnight. Courts refused to enforce them, judges ruled the trades were gambling, not commerce. Fortunes vanished. Bakers lost their shops. Merchants lost their warehouses. An entire economy of paper promises just disappeared. Charles Mackay wrote the definitive account 200 years later, in 1841, in a book called Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds. That title tells you everything. Because it wasn't about tulips. It was about people. Now, some modern historians, like in Goldgar at King's College London, argue the damage wasn't as catastrophic as Mackay described. And she makes good points. But here's what isn't debated. The prices were insane. The speculation was real. And the crash was sudden. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Because we are still doing this. Over and over again. The dot-com bubble. The Nasdaq peaked in March 2000 at 5,048 points. By October 2002, it had fallen 78%. Companies with no profits, no products, and sometimes no employees were worth billions. Then they weren't. The housing crash of 2008. Ordinary families taking out mortgages they couldn't afford on houses they didn't understand, because real estate always goes up. It didn't. Bitcoin reached $69,000 in November 2021. A year later, $16,000. Down 76%. The same exact pattern a Dutch weaver lived through in 1637. Every bubble has the same 4 ingredients. A genuinely exciting story. Easy access to speculation. Ordinary people quitting their jobs to trade. And the belief, the absolute conviction, that this time is different. It never is. Here's the principle Benjamin Graham pulled from studying Tulip Mania. And it's the one I want you to remember long after you close this video. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. A tulip bulb is worth what a tulip bulb is worth. A fair yield, a fair beauty, a reasonable chance of growing into a flower. That value doesn't change when the crowd gets excited. It doesn't change when your neighbor makes a fortune on paper. It doesn't change when everyone around you is buying. The job of a value investor is simple and brutally hard. Know what something is actually worth. And refuse, absolutely refuse, to pay more than that. No matter how loud the crowd gets. Because crowds eventually quiet down. Tulips, eventually, are just tulips. Here's my question for you. What's the bubble you think is forming right now? Could be crypto, could be AI stocks, could be something nobody's talking about yet. Drop it in the comments. I read every one, and the best ones become future videos. If you learned something today, hit subscribe. And tomorrow, we're covering how Warren Buffett bought a company for $35 million that now generates $2 billion in annual profit. It's the single best deal in investing history. You won't want to miss it. This is educational content, not financial advice. Always do your own research.